Hi, welcome to Tarot Off the Cuff. I am Kevin Quigley. Our next reader, Meg Miller, is a former forklift driver, chauffeur, and teacher who turned to the esoteric arts. She's always been deeply connected to the other side. She's an intuitive reader that loves to use the story contained within the card.
Hi, I'm Meg Miller, and I'm with Tarot Off the Cuff. Anyway, for today's reading, I'm going to use The Goddess Tarot by Kris Waldherr, and I happen to have the pocket version. As you can see, the box looks a little beaten up. Loved. Anyway, these are the backs, and here are the cards. As you can see, beautiful, beautiful, serene, lovely. So for today's reading, I'm going to focus on how do I learn all of the tarot stuff that's out there? How am I going to get caught up? How am I going to know what's going on? And we will find out. So I'm going to choose a card. Two of Swords. So I've got two options here. I can give you the right answer, or I can give you the wrong answer. We can get this done in 30 seconds or less. Pen and paper. The right answer is do whatever works for you. Wrong answer, don't do it at all. And that all sounds fine and good and sometimes kind of trite because there is a lot of truth to that, but it's pretty general. Back in the day, about 100 years ago, I used to teach school. I look pretty good for 100 plus, don't I? Anyway, I learned about 4 different ways of learning. And the first learning was the person who asked why. Why do I need to do this? Why do I have to learn this? And of course, we've already figured out our why. If we're going to be tarot readers, or we already are, we know why we are doing this. But when we approach something, new learning, a new way of creating something or whatever, the why is why are we doing this? What are we being called to fulfill, to explore, to experience? So that person wants to get those questions answered. The second type of person asks what? Well, what exactly do I need to do to fulfill X, Y, and Z? So I will attribute this to riding a bike. The first person is, why do I need to learn to ride a bike? Okay, and that person might be a unicycle. Why do I need to learn to ride a unicycle? And then they figure, well, I want to have a career in the circus, and I want to be able to juggle balls and entertain people live, et cetera, et cetera. The second person is, well, what exactly do I need? Well, I'm going to explore all the different types of bikes. Okay, I'm going to explore all the different types of tarot cards out there. There are the Rider-Waite philosophy of decks. There are the Thoth philosophy of decks. And then Benebell Wen, she's working on her 3rd edition of the Spirit Keepers Tarot. Again, a philosophy of deck. So again, what is your mode? What is going to be brought into your home to go from there? The third person is practicality. Okay, so I learn this, I take the time, I spend my money, etc., etc. But again, what will this fulfill in my life? What niche? And so, for example, a bike, well, I no longer have a car and I need to use a bike to get to work. The same thing with tarot is that I want to be a tarot reader. I want to do fairs and festivals all around the United States. I want to tour the states, and I'm going to go in my camper, and I'm going to have all my tarot goodness with me, and I'm just going to go around and explore, and I need to make money. I got to buy food and pay for gas. So you do that. The fourth person just jumps in and swims around and splashes a lot of water, and then comes together with the culmination of learning, etc. So I am a level 4 or type 4, I guess you'd say, type of learner. I just jump in, and a lot of times I wished I was more of a 1, 2, and 3 because they feel like the right way. And I think I would save myself a lot of headache and so on if I would just stop, look and listen, those types of things. But I look at myself as riding a bike, as with tarot. I did not learn how to ride a bicycle until I was 9 years old, partly because there were no bicycles around where I was growing up. And the other part was I just had some fear around it. So I finally got a cool Stingray bike on my 9th birthday. It had a banana seat. It was sparkly. It was beautiful. See, that was the beginnings of my tarot channeling. Anyway, through fits and starts and skinned knees and skinned elbows and crying and kicking the bike and throwing down the bike and shaking my fists, etc., I finally felt the exquisite delight of riding my bike the first time without falling for 2 blocks. It was fantastic. So I could have read about the bike, I could have studied, etc., talked to people and all those things, but for that particular learning, I just needed to actually do it because it's a physical activity. The same thing with tarot. So with that said, it's not that we all lock in to one particular type. We may gravitate toward one and then choose how we're going to navigate that. So for example, at the very beginning, I bought, my tarot decks, I bought oracle cards, crystals, rocks, bells, incense, whatever, woo stuff I could get because I loved the mystical, the magical of it. And then I would freeze up because it was so much. There's so many books out there. And now, compared to 30 years ago, it's like, holy cow, there's tons of people, just fabulous authors, books, social media, workshops. The sky's the limit. And you can experience anything from anyone, anywhere around the world. That is the beauty of all of this. So where do you discern? And not get caught up in, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get anything. How am I going to fit all this in? And so on. And it's like looking at those learning things is that why do you want to learn a particular focus? What do you hope to expect out of that? Are you going to write a blog? Are you going to develop a practice? Are you going to do workshops for particular focus, etc.? And then there's times you just got to jump in and go for it and go for the experience. Had I not had the experience falling off that bike a gazillion times and screaming and raging and all those other things, I would have missed out on, again, the delight at the other end. But all of the learning, all of the process is just as important, if not more important, than what we have on the other end. Because we are always learning. That's really the right answer. What are you doing to continue to always learn about tarot? And what makes your heart and soul sing? I look at tarot as far as the learning. What is my responsibility as a tarot reader? To be compassionate, but the fact that a reading between me and a client, a friend, a family member, that it's sacred. And it is a communication. It is, for me, an intuition that is being delivered because I'm open to that, and then I share that message. And you will find your way, because when it's your way, it is authentic. And then you will appear and be authentic because you are tapping into whatever richness you have cultivated. So for example, if you are working on a special project, take the time to write down on all those little scraps of paper and index cards and everything else, date it, throw it in a pocket folder or a bin, and then let that compost really work. All that richness, that soil. And so when the time comes when you really need to pull out your soil and start planting seeds, you have all these wonderful, delicious ideas that you have had all throughout. So it's really integrating everything. And if you find yourself in a swirl, because this is what I do, I work to scale it way back. I'll pull a card, and let's say I happen to pull, this is temptation, which in the Rider-Waite would be the devil card. And my temptation would be, I want to hurry and do it all, and then I'm scattered, and then I'm doing a little of this and a little of this and a little of this, and nothing is sticking, and then I don't even feel that I accomplished anything. So if I stop and I think, well, another way of doing this would be, what is it that I want to accomplish? Okay, so today I want to write a blog about how tarot is a great way to start the day when I'm under duress. And that what is that nugget that I can pull? And no matter what card I get, there's a message of stillness that I can take within me. So choose your learning, have fun with it. It's about resonance, it's about experience, it's about joy. And when you incorporate all of those elements in with your learning style, you will have a delightful, beautiful experience with tarot, and you will feel one with the universe. Thank you so much. I'm Meg Miller with Tarot Off the Cuff. Please hit the subscribe button, because there are tons of people sharing their wisdom and insight from all around the world. And then hit the notification bell and the one that's ringing all the time, because there's wonderful goodness your way. And thank you.
Hi, thanks for watching. This is Kevin Quigley with Tarot Off the Cuff. If you can take a second, click the subscribe button down below. That'll let you know when a new video is posted and you might want to jump over and watch it. If you hit the thumbs up for the videos that you really like, that will help spread the word, so new people will find Tarot Off the Cuff in their feed, and that helps the channel grow. That would be great. And if you got a question or a comment, positive or negative, whether you agree or disagree, or if you want to add information or your own take on a particular card or a particular topic, put a comment down below. We would love to hear from you. Thanks so much.